what's up? This is DJ Smos Def. You're listening to the Introverted DJ. This is a new podcast where I talk about my experiences as an introverted DJ. It's pretty much in the title. So yeah, I wanted another show besides the Smos Def podcast mix show where I just talk. In the other show, I pretty much get down with a mixtape with various genres and I talk in between sets. In the beginning, at the end, as a matter of fact. But I wanted to do a new show, a little shorter, maybe 10 to 20 minutes, where I talk about how hard it is with having social anxiety as a DJ. It's kind of an odd mixture. A DJ's job is to be very outgoing and, you have to be in front of a crowd. And usually you don't interact with people. You just sit behind, the DJ booth, behind your decks or behind a laptop, whatever, what have you. And I'm fine with that. I usually am right at home with just mixing and keeping a vibe, setting a vibe for whatever atmosphere I'm at, whether a bar or a party. But yeah, it's an odd mixture. I frequently find myself getting anxiety with large crowds, and especially when I have trouble with public speaking. So when I have to get on the mic, I get usually very tense and nervous. Usually helps to have a beer or a drink or two to get in the social spirit, but I don't want to have to do that all the time. So I guess doing podcasts. And if you guys don't know, I have like several podcasts. I have like a couple podcasts that I do regularly. The other being the Laser Boy podcast, where I review DVDs and Blu-rays. And I have a high fidelity podcast where I talk about the high fidelity TV series with my friend DJ Edwin. So those have been helping me a lot actually in overcoming social anxiety, overcoming my fear of public speaking. Even as I talk now, I'm just recording this in my room, I have some anxiety because I know that it's weird. I'm talking alone in my room in front of a microphone, but yet I still have anxiety that this is going to be put out in the world. How are people going to perceive me? This and that, all this nonsense, psychobabble that I'm pretty much going to be covering in future episodes. I can't cover it all right now in 5 minutes in this intro. But for this first episode, I wanted to get into, continue this thread that I've been on, which is K-pop. So in this next episode, I'm going to be talking with my friend Frank Pitts. He's a comedian and YouTuber, podcaster. He has his own podcast called When I Have Spare Time Podcast, which is really funny, very sharp, sardonic, very adult type of humor. So if you guys want to check that out, check him out on YouTube. Look up Frank Pitts or When I Have Spare Time Podcast. So let's get right into my talk with Frank Pitts. All right, I'm here with Frank Pitts.
Hello.
How you doing, Frank?
Pretty good. How you doing?
Good, man. Thanks for being on my show. I listened to your recent podcast on the When I Have Spare Time Podcast. And I thought it was great. I particularly liked one of your questions that you answered. Is Frank underrated or overrated? And I gotta say, I think you're underrated. Because I really enjoy your content, and I think you should be having like tens of thousands of followers, and you don't. It's like I'm like, what's the deal?
I heard you just have to keep on putting out content. So, thanks. But yeah, I'm just going to keep on putting out content. Hopefully I'll get lucky.
Yeah, that's a great attitude to have. I got to follow your lead there because sometimes I have just lulls where I'm like, I don't want to, then I don't want to do that. I don't want to record for like weeks. And then, it's just, like you said, the key is consistency, right?
Yeah. As long as you're enjoying it, that's all that really matters. Other people will enjoy what you enjoy. Because, you'll find other people that have your sense of humor or taste. So just keep doing what you're doing. Like, it should work out.
Okay, yeah, cool. So, can people email you questions for that Q&A section, or how does that
They can
work?
just look. No, they can just look up what I have spare time podcast on YouTube, and you can just go from there.
Do you have any like parameters for limitations on what the questions could be, or
Oh no, it could be anything.
could be anything? Okay.
The point of it is just to hear a funny answer. So it could be any question.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
And I already plugged your YouTube, but I'll just do it again. You can find them at Frank Pitts, or look up Frank Pitts on YouTube, or When I Have Spare Time podcast. Is that right?
Yeah.
Awesome. So as I mentioned before in the intro, Frank is pretty much my only K-pop friend right now. Well, my only K-pop friend of around the same age range. All my other K-pop friends are like in their 20s, so it's kind of hard to have a conversation with them. Not hard, but it's just not that fun. Okay, I'll stop talking there because I don't know how to put that delicately. But last time we talked about a lot about Twice, and
Yes.
you really made a great impression on me with the song "Cheer Up," because I think it was one of your Facebook posts, or maybe we had that in a discussion where you're talking about the meaning of the song, and I thought it was really complex. Like I didn't think about it at all, like what the meaning of that song was, and I love "Cheer Up" now. I love it a lot. So thank you for that.
It's like once I saw the lyrics, I'm like, oh, this song is kind of complicated.
Yeah.
But it sounds so simple, but it's not. It's great.
Yeah, and it's great too because when I started listening to it Twice, and maybe just K-pop in general, I just listened to it for like as a passive observer. Like, oh, this is great. Like, this is a great melody, like catchy pop hook, and like I could just groove with it, and it just like makes you happy. It's like the essence of bubblegum pop, right? So,
Yeah.
but yeah, and then when there's like so many layers of it, the choreography, the visuals, and then obviously like the lyrics. If you don't speak Korean, and then you like look up the subtitles, you're like, oh shit, like kind of cool that they're talking about this, and so it opens up a lot of layers. But
I agree.
yeah, so I wanted to talk about biases, and in particular, how I've had like 4 or 5 bias wreckers in the group Twice. For those of you guys out there who don't listen to K-pop, a bias, first of all, is a member of a K-pop group who you prefer, I guess, have like more romantic feelings for, or whatever, or attracted to. And then bias wreckers are another member in the group who makes you rethink or think twice about your original bias, and then you like this other member becomes your bias. So I've had like
your bias.
Yeah, exactly, right? Is that correct? Am I correct in that?
No, you're right.
Okay, that's like a rudimentary kind of broad overview of the meaning, but pretty much sums it up. But yeah, I think I liked Daeyoon first. She's one of the rappers, and then I liked Nayeon, and then I liked I guess I only have 4. I liked Mina, which I still do. I think okay, I'll get into that later. But then like I recently saw like a V Live of Sana.
Yeah.
And she was just like in bed, and she's like on her way. Like that sounds really sexual, but like she's just like laying down with her clothes on and like talking to the camera really intimately. And I think I was like had a few to drink, or I was drunk, and then I was just like watching it, and I just like kind of fell in love with her. Like just it felt so intimate, And then I just remembered you telling me how like Twice are modeled to be like your girlfriend, and I thought that was
they are.
Well, I'm talking a little bit too much, but let me ask you: have you ever felt this way about a bias? And tell us about it if you have.
Let me think. I don't know if it's on the same level I can't say if it's worse or better, but I think I can answer this question. I guess like yeah, it would have to be a So Young choice from a girl's generation. I just thought because everyone would say like Yuna's the best looking one, or they would say Yuna's the best looking visual in K-pop. Sometimes like she's always on the top 10 list. But yeah, I thought like So Young was the top of the line idol, I guess.
Uh-huh.
Like I would watch all of her variety shows, or she did lots of like K dramas too. I'd watch all those, but yeah, I realized I had it like I guess bad when on her Instagram she like updated and she was at Disneyland.
Mm-hmm.
And like I dropped everything. I'm like I got to go to Disneyland now. And after like making all the preparations and about to head over there, I'm like wait. I can't just drop everything and go to Disneyland because she just said she's there. So like I'm going to hang out with her. What am I doing? It's like I stopped. But yeah.
When was this?
This was let me think. This was roughly like 4 years ago, 5 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah. Because that's the last time like she was there. So because she's been busy doing acting ever since. But yeah, it was like 5 years ago.
And I'm sorry. What was the member's name again? So Young. Okay.
Choi. Yeah.
So Young. Awesome. And did you have it pretty bad for her? I mean, you obviously like went to try to go meet her. So like.
Well, I didn't realize it until that moment because like I just thought she was funny because like she's really funny on these shows because like if someone says like another member is better, she'll be like, well, I think I'm the best. I think I'm the best choice. Like she's just funny, so you don't notice I guess the other feelings you have. I guess.
Yeah.
She's just really funny on the show. So yeah, like when I saw her update and I was like, I gotta go. I was like, whoa. Apparently, I really like her. Like I just didn't like realize how much I liked her.
Yeah. Okay.
Odd. Yeah. That's
fascinating. Yeah, it's cool that you're attracted to a sense of humor, and then that's what made you want to go see her. I
mean, she's really hot too. It's just, You're kind of like thrown off by like the sense of humor. You just don't like expect it.
Yeah. It's a great combination, right? You're just like, wow.
Yeah.
Kind of one in a million, but yeah, Mina for me, she's obviously just a beauty. She's an angel. Like I can just ogle her pictures all day. Just like so beautiful. But I think Mina for me is like she's so like shy and kind of soft spoken, and so like the extrovert in me like likes that, but I know it sounds weird. The extrovert, I guess because for opposites attract, but my introvert really likes Sana because she's just like so cheerful and outgoing, and she's always like hugging other members and kissing them and really playful. And then obviously like when I saw the V live too, I was just, oh my god, it's just like wow, like I'm just like hanging out with her. Like I never, I guess I mentioned before like I've always kind of like looked at idol groups like from a distance. I've always had some kind of an emotional distance from them because I've always kind of been like a passive observer. And then now like I realize I finally like stan a group like for real. Like I'm actually like following their live streams and sucked into this this black hole known as K-pop standing, and it's really affecting, like not really affecting me. I'm not like, I guess I should mention I do kind of like wear my heart on my sleeve. I'm like the kind of guy who like used to, like when my first job I had from like KFC, I would always like, and my friend introduced me to strip clubs. I'd always go to, and then a girl would show me the slightest bit of attention, and it's their job. But I'm like,
right.
This girl really likes me. You know what I mean? I'm like that guy. And then I would spend all my paycheck every week, like just blow it all at the strip club. So I mean I have a little more objectivity from that now. Obviously I'm a little older, and but still, I think it's kind of genius that like these K-pop idols, girl groups especially, like have that kind of power over you. Especially for guys that are like you mentioned, like incels, right? So
Right, right.
is that like strategic? They do that on purpose, right? Or
Well, I mean, I know some groups do that. I can speak for Girls' Generation. I know when they first came out, they weren't as popular, so they made videos about why you should like them, and then they got kind of popular after that. So like it's like they marketed themselves, which is really interesting. And I'm sure they're not the only group that's ever done that. But
you said Girls' Generation?
like
Okay.
when Girls' Generation first came out, they weren't that popular, and then they literally made videos about why you should like them.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm not saying it's the only reason why they became really popular, but I mean, they did become really popular.
Yeah.
So it's like they were marketed in a way to be very likable. I mean, but of course you got to do that. But some groups are marketed better than others. But Twice, I think, is a very welcoming group. Like they're all of them are very soft. Like there's nothing sharp or pointy about them. They all seem very nice.
Mm-hmm.
They're all very pretty. It's like they're marketed for like a perfect girlfriend, and then like their songs, they're like they make like cutesy girly topics, but they make them like epic. It's so weird. I've never heard songs about like mixing a phone call and having a 3-minute song about it, but it being so epic. I'm like, wow, it's just about a phone call,
Uh-huh.
but somehow you made it more.
You're talking about Cheer Up, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that song. I mean, like, and there's other like "What Is Love" is another song that has a really great lyrics. But yeah, like I think Twice like has some songs with like some really like deep lyrics that don't match the poppy music behind it. So that's another reason why they just trip me out.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, let me ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
How do you? Because I'm in kind of pretty deep right now. I'm like obsessed with Sana and Mina, but I'm like looking up their pictures, like downloading their pictures. I'm like joining Mina Sana groups on Facebook, watching their V lives over and over. Like, does it get any better, or I mean, or like in terms of like my obsession, is it just gonna go crazy, or like how can I stop this? I want to stop it, is what I'm trying to say. And
Um,
have you had any experience where you just needed to stop yourself, or did you have somebody intervene?
that's funny. I like to this day. I had a friend. She was a girl. She was like, "Who you like?" Or no. She's like, a friend of mine thinks you like me, and he's like jealous. I'm like, oh, don't worry. Like I'm in love with and I just named some random idol, but it just came so like naturally. I know what you're talking about, but that like the only thing I used to do would I would just watch clips of different variety shows of Girls' Generation actually,
Okay.
and it was the only thing I did like all day. And I'm like, there was a point where I'm like, this is the only thing I do, but like it wasn't affecting my life in a bad way, and so I just kept watching it, and then like one day I just was like, wow, like I think I know them well enough that I don't have to like know what they had for breakfast. It was like I felt like I just knew enough,
Okay.
and then I was okay. So I just think enjoy it because like nothing bad. I mean, nothing bad happens from it. You just learn more and more about them, and then one day you're gonna be like, oh, okay, I think I know enough. I still like them. I'm just gonna watch them afar, I guess.
Yeah. That's a good. That makes me. That's a positive way of looking at it. I'm just worried, because I have a very addictive personality,
Mm-hmm.
and I try, that's why I don't do hard drugs, or
Right,
I try to drink like every other day or something. Especially now with the quarantine, I don't want to drink
right,
every day because I'm just gonna spiral. You know what I mean? So,
right.
but yeah, I guess I just need somebody to, or I guess that's gonna have to be myself because to just kind of monitor and kind of take it in proportion, like measured doses. Like I don't know. I'm just.
I mean, like as long as you're not like I don't know, like skipping your electric bill or like not eating for 6 days.
Okay.
You're okay. I wouldn't worry about it. But like I do see how it can be concerning. But if you're not like you're focusing on something positive. So
Right.
let's say if you like cut whatever 2 hours or twice out of your life, you're just gonna watch YouTube or play video games. You might as well just watch Spice videos.
Okay. Yeah, you make a good point. I'm making it more negative than it's sounding, but I guess I'm just trying to get ahead of the problem if it becomes a problem. So.
Oh no, I was just saying because like you're a normal guy. You're not gonna end up like buying a plane ticket and like knocking on their front door. So it's like it's fine. You're good. You're not the you're not gonna walk in on like first class like, hey, can you sign my yearbook? No, you're good.
Okay, well, I like your naivete that you think that I'm not that obsessive, but.
Oh boy.
Awesome. Let's put a pin in that, and I appreciate your advice.
No problem.
So yeah, thank you for joining me, Frank. You can find Frank on YouTube at When I Have Spare Time podcast.
Yeah, that's it.
What can we look forward to in your next episode?
Next episode I have a rant about the difference between men and women measuring protein powder. I know it sounds ridiculous, but it's really funny.
Yeah.
So worth a lesson.
Awesome. Thanks again for joining me, Frank.
Thank you.
And we'll see you guys next time.
I like eating, just like